Good afternoon, everyone, from Dunrovin Ranch in Lolo, Montana. This is Suzanne Miller on the ranch, and with me today is Michael Academia, and you are still in Humboldt, are you not, Michael?
That's correct, Suzanne. It's so nice to have you. Hi, everyone. I am in Humboldt in Northern California, and soon I'll be going to LA to stay with some family for a couple months before going to Virginia at the College of William and Mary.
First of all, I think we all need to say congratulations to Michael. He graduated just last week, did you not, Michael?
That's correct. I have my degree in fisheries biology.
That's wonderful. Well, congratulations from all of us. This is our Awesome Osprey broadcast for our Awesome Osprey project. And I have to say, Michael, this has just been so fun to have you engaged. And I just love the way that you have been talking with everybody every day and keeping us all on track with these wonderful nests that you've gotten together. And we've had some real changes with some of these nests. And what I would like to do is have Michael take us through some of those changes. But before we do that, I'd like to make an announcement that on our website, on the Awesome Osprey Classroom webpage, you'll notice that the discussion board looks a little funky, a little wonky right now. Well, that's because we're having a few problems with the kind of behind the curtain issues, which will be resolved within the next day or so. So don't let that put you off. If you have something to post, please do. Also, I want to tell you that I will be watching the Awesome Osprey chat. And if anybody has a question or a comment, I will jump in and ask Michael on your behalf. He's going to be going through a great little PowerPoint presentation that he has prepared to bring us up to date and also to tell us about something he's got in store for all of us who have been participating. So with that, Michael, it's yours.
Thank you, Suzanne. And yes, we definitely want you to participate in this broadcast. So please type in your questions and your comments at the Awesome Osprey Project chat. And that's located on the site. If you are finding difficulty on where that location is, folks on the site are happy to help you find that location.
We already have some congratulatory comments.
Oh, yay. Great. Okay, let me try to share my screen here and get this started. And how is that looking, Suzanne? Is that okay on your end?
Looks great, Michael.
Okay, great. So today we will be unveiling the awards program. But before that, we wanted to update you nest by nest. On behalf of the folks at Days at Dunrovin, we want to thank you so much for your participation, your engagement, and your hard work with this community, and also with all of your logging of data of fish and your pictures of fish. It's really, really helpful. And we want to give you tokens of our gratitude through the awards program. But first, this illustration was created by a member, Lynn Adair, who is also an admin for a Facebook group called the Osprey Experience. And this is a pertinent and relevant figure because soon we're going to have an Osprey baby explosion. There's just going to be cuteness overload. And the next thing you know, you're going to blink and then they're going to be flying off. So this chart shows how super fast the growth rate of osprey chicks are. So on the x-axis, we have the days from hatching to fledging, which takes about 60 days or 8 weeks. And on the y-axis, we have mass in grams. So if you look at the y-axis, 1,000 grams are equivalent to 2.2 pounds, and 2,000 grams are equivalent to about 4.4 pounds. And the blue line, the blue curve, represents the male chicks, and the yellow curve represents the female chicks. So they get bigger and they weigh more, so the curve goes higher for the females than the males. But if you look in the middle of the chart, around 30 days, 30 to like 40 days, you can see how both of the curves almost go into this vertical line. It's like exponential growth. And you'll be amazed at how fast a hatchling will be growing pin feathers. Pin feathers is like the reptilian phase, the dinosaur phase. And to fledging. And it's amazing how fast that they can grow. So thank you, Lynn, for sharing this. This will also be located on the discussion board for now so that this will keep you on track on how fast they really grow.
I'm going to make a comment here,
Yes, please.
Michael, because those of you who are new to watching Osprey cameras are going to notice that you can practically see the feathers form. You'll see the feather shafts, and you'll see the feathers come right out of the shafts. The growth is so fast, you really have to watch day to day because you'll see differences in 24-hour period. And the other thing I wanted to point out was this fast growth means they need a lot of food.
A lot of food.
A lot of food. So we should be seeing more fish as the chicks start to grow. The demand on dad to bring some fish is going to go up.
And it's also will be easier to track the fish. When they're incubating, it's difficult because the fish gets delivered and mom will take it off the nest. Where when we have hatchlings on the nest, the fish will be delivered on the nest and they'll stay there. So you'll be able to see the fish more often and it'll be easier.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our first nest 1 at Osayus, British Columbia, Canada. So that camera has been laden with some camera issues. In fact, for the past week and a half, there's only been a couple of days in which we could do servable, quality assured data collection. Total so far has been 26 fish with 15 days. So the daily average is about 1.7 fish per day. And currently, we do have 3 eggs on the nest, and hopefully we'll see a hatch within the next week or definitely in the next couple of weeks. It's really difficult to get the status of that with the camera being down so much, but I think today it is online. Nest 2, let's go to Finland in Satakunnan. So we have a total of 36 fish delivered thus far at 27 days, with 1.3 fish being delivered per day. So that's kind of getting a little low. I'm a little concerned about that. They do have 3 eggs on the nest, and the first hatch will be on June 6th. So that's next week. Yeah. And we'll have a fledge at that nest around mid to late August. So we'll have a lot of viewing for you throughout the whole season. Okay, so we're still in Finland, nest 3, and that hooded crow right there in that red circle, that happened on May 14th, 2020, when hooded crow raided the nest. Both parents abandoned the nest because they needed to meet their own energetic requirements. But prior to that, there was about 28 fish total within 15 days, making the daily average at 1.9 fish per day. So that's, I just rounded it up, but that was good. That was on track. So this was a very opportunistic hooded crow. It was probably just that day that they couldn't meet their own energetic requirements, the parents, so they left the nest, and the crow was just right there and it pounced on the eggs. All right, nest 4, Lock of the Lows. So this nest, in the beginning of the season, there was some human disturbance, so the nest didn't become active. Here, I think they found another nest and that they've occupied eggs. I'm not too sure of that.
This is a nest that's been there for some time, isn't it? It's an old nest, is it not?
Oh, it's an old nest. This is where Lady came from.
Yeah.
Lady is the very famous osprey in Scotland. She was old too. She was producing young since she was 24, 25, 26, and that's ancient for an osprey.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm sad that this nest wasn't active.
Yeah.
Okay, nest 5, really exciting news because I checked early this morning and we have a pip. A pip is like a little hole in the egg. So we're gonna have a hatch maybe within several hours or definitely by the next day. So definitely keep your eyes on this nest. This nest belongs to Ben Wurst with the Conserve of New Jersey project. And we have a total of 54 fish so far with 30 days, making the daily average at 1.8 fish per day. And we have 3 eggs. And again, the hatch is very soon, anytime now.
Well, you can really see some patterns emerging here, can't you? You know, right around 1.8, 1.7 to 1.89 seems to be an emerging average over all of the nests.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So keep that in mind because you're going to be seeing the daily averages with the other nests, and you're going to see some patterns. You're going to see maybe some issues.
Okay.
Okay, so here's nest 6, Boulder, Colorado. I just contacted them. The camera is now up. It wasn't up earlier today, so we can start taking observations. They have a total of 65 fish so far at 31 days, with a daily average at 2.1 fish per day. Yeah. So this pair was one of the last pairs to lay 3 eggs, and we will see a fledge in late August. So I'm glad that the timing was all different. You know, it's not all at the same time.
Yeah.
Asynchronous.
Yeah. Really extends our pleasure in watching, for one thing. We got something to watch all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Couldn't have planned it any better. So nest 7, Cowlitz, Washington. They have 69 fish total, 28 days, with 2.5 fish being delivered. So I really believe that there is a trout hatchery nearby because the majority of fish has been trout. And it's interesting because hatchery trout, the adipose fin, which is located in the rear section of the fish next to the tail, there's a little adipose fin and it's cut off, and that will indicate a hatchery fish. And the trout there don't have adipose fins. So I really believe that there is a trout hatchery nearby feeding these ospreys. So it's wonderful. Hence 2.5 fish a day.
Yeah, easy pickings.
Easy pickings, because you know hatchery fish they're not used to the wild, right? They don't know predators, so they're just walking in the park, oblivious to what's going on. I should say swimming in the park. So the names of this pair, we have Electra as the female and Watson as the male. 3 eggs, and we're gonna have a hatch soon, June 6th through the 9th. All right, home base, Dunrovin Ranch.
All right.
Yes. We have 71 fish total, 27 days thus far of observable assured days. Look at that, 2.6 fish per day.
Go Swoop.
I am proud of Swoop. I was a little concerned of Swoop. But I think he's definitely going to be a good provider. So I have faith in him.
Yeah.
So, days at Dunrovin, it's been like a Osprey daytime drama, especially in the beginning of the season. We've had so many males, so many things happening. We don't know what was happening. In fact, eggs were being kicked out. I think how many eggs were kicked out, Suzanne? Like 2, 3?
Two eggs were kicked. And the third egg was kicked out, and then Harriet brought it back in, and he ended up accepting it. He kicked it out, she brought it back in, and so she's sitting on eggs 3 and 4.
Yeah, see, told you, drama at days at Dunrovin. Yeah. So yeah, we have 2 eggs, and one of those eggs are actually embedded into the nest, so you can see it on the camera. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, nest 9, Emma, Colorado, 46 fish so far at 22 days.
Wow.
With 2.1 fish being delivered per day. So last year, this was a super pair. They had all 3 of their nestlings fledge. So we'll see how it works out this year. And again, we'll see a hatch next week or the next 2 weeks. So the issue with this nest is that the nest cup is really deep. And with the camera angle, we can't really see how many eggs are there. So I'm predicting that there are 3 eggs based on the success last year. So once the eggs hatch and the nestlings grow, we'll be able to confirm how many hatchlings are there. Okay, nest 10, Lake Murray in South Carolina. We have a total of 127 fish.
Oh
delivered.
My goodness.
I know. 27 days.
Oh.
With a total of 4.7 fish being delivered each day. And Ricky, the male, had a record day, I think last week or earlier this week, and it was 9 fish delivered in one day. And I wish that he could have just maintained that level. But because of the C3, the youngest hatchling died yesterday due to starvation and not being not having enough food, and also sibling aggression. And
So let's talk about that for a moment, Michael.
yeah, let's talk about that.
It's really important with these web cameras that you can not only see the number of fish, but the size and species of fish, because at 4.7 fish per day, even with 3 chicks, one would think that might be enough. But it must be that there were smaller fish coming out of Lake Murray, that the total mass of fish was not equal as to some of the other nests. Is that correct?
You hit it right on target. Thank you for saying that. So not only can it be a quantitative issue with counts, it's also a qualitative issue. Qualitative meaning the size of the fish and also the nutrients of the fish. And some fish cannot provide all of the nutrients that ospreys need. In fact, some fish don't have certain lipids in which the osprey chicks require. So the aggression, the siblicide comes out of just not being satiated.
So that's really interesting, and it's something I did not understand, Michael. So at some point, I'd like to have you go back to that issue of the quality of the meat that is being fed. That there's a difference in the species, I would assume, or is it a difference in the aquatic environment? Is it that the same fish, the same species, in one environment would be healthier in terms of for the chicks than in another environment? Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, there's all these different factors, and there's a lot of experiments that need to be done. And what's great about the Awesome Osprey project is that we have nests inland in freshwater aquatic environments, and then we also have nests on the coast in the ocean, the marine environment. So it's going to be really interesting what we find out with all of these different fish.
So let me ask a follow-up question. Is anybody in the scientific community then capturing some of these fish from these different aquatic sources and doing the analysis, the nutrient analysis, so that we can make some comparisons?
You hit it right on target again. Even in Alan Poole's book, The Natural and Unnatural History of Ospreys, it just stated exactly what you said. There is very little data on that, and who knows, maybe that's going to be another experiment for me. I already have it designed in my head. I could feed, it would be amazing just to have little osprey chicks to raise as an experiment. I can feed them like freshwater fish compared to saltwater fish and this type of species versus that type of species, and see if there's differences in growth rate. And that's how we would conduct that experiment. But nope, it hasn't been done.
Well, what's interesting here, now you've opened up my mind here too.
Yay, that's what we want to do.
I mean, I'm wondering if in the future we could identify a set number of nests that have access to a specific species, like a trout. I mean, a lot of these streams in the West have rainbow trout, in addition to cutthroats and bull trout. But a lot of them have rainbows, which are invasive in some waters, but also are commonly grown in hatcheries. It would be really interesting if we could engage fishermen to catch the rainbow trout in those lakes and streams and start doing some of these. I mean, that would be really cool.
That would be so cool. That would be really cool. And again, like with Cowlitz in Washington, that's mostly rainbow trout, probably a hatchery rainbow trout. So that could definitely.
I think we should get the fishing community involved in this. So
I really think we should.
Okay, I'm on this now.
Oh, see, there we go. The wheels are turning. So,
great. This is great.
We have future projects.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very interesting. Let's go to nest 11. This is a marine. It's near a marsh. So they have marine fish and a total of 188 fish so far. Yeah.
Wow.
37 days.
Oh.
So 5.1 fish being delivered. What's interesting about this nest, because in the beginning when the hatchlings hatched, most of the fish were small. But now in the later stages, a lot of the fish are big. So again, the quantitative issue can be a little deceiving. So it really is important on the quality of the fish.
Yeah.
So they are growing fast. In fact, one of the elder today picked the fish from the male and was trying to devour it on its own, but it couldn't. So mom came over and took over. And they're also practicing wing exercises. And in the community, we're calling it wingsercise.
Yeah. That's a really fun stage to watch them do that.
Oh, it is. So yeah, be sure to check out Savannah, because next thing you know, they're going to be off. In fact,
my wheels are still turning here, Michael. I can help myself,
Great, I'm glad.
So I'm wondering if there's any way that on the web cameras, and this is a crazy idea probably, but if there was some kind of a way that we could measure the size of a fish through the web camera. I know that sounds a little insane here, but you really could get a sense of the mass of that has been delivered as opposed to the total number of fish. If we had some way of, getting screen caps, and so maybe next year we really get our participants turned on to screen caps of every fish that comes, so that we can measure and estimate the difference in terms of mass of fish.
That would be so amazing, because if we get the length of the fish, then we can calculate, how much the fish weighs and how much caloric, input the fish can give. And that would just be amazing if we could do that, Suzanne. Would be really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we could get the length and the width, because I assume in some of these ocean ones are bringing in flatfish, which sometimes are very narrow, but very, bottom feeders,
oh, and Barnegat Light, Nest 5, they're bringing in a lot of flounder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's think about this. If there's some way we could perhaps work with some of these webcam operators to see if there isn't something we could put. I don't know. I just want to think about this.
There is some technology that can do that, but they need like a known measurement of something on the nest,
right?
So that we can
People go up to the nests,
Absolutely. But no, there's a lot of room for improvement. So this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, folks. We can take this as far as you want, but we need your support. We need your curiosity. We need the wheels spinning.
This is fun.
This is fun. But and at Savannah here, there's just so many different types of species that I really would love to have like a on the grounds fisheries team to really help identifying the fish, because I don't know half the time what's going on with that nest and the different types of fish. So it's the diversity there is quite amazing with the fish.
Yeah.
And again, that could be another issue to look into. If the diversity of fish is more rich, does that lead to more nesting success?
Right. Interesting stuff.
Okay, nest 12, the last nest. There we go, in red. Another crow took advantage of an abandoned nest. But prior to that, only six fish were delivered within an eight days, and that was just an average of 0.8 fish per day. So that was just a red flag right there, an indicator of what's happening at that nest.
That's probably why the adults abandoned the site.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So in an ocean environment, what are the factors that would influence fish availability? In river systems, of course, you have fluctuating flows, which really make a difference. Yeah, but in an ocean or a lake environment, there would be less of that, would there not?
Right. With the ocean environment, there could be some quality issues as well, but also there's tides and just a lot of other factors, human factors too, such as disturbance and overfishing and
right.
Again, like these parameters haven't been really established, but we could definitely work on this.
Yeah. You're getting me all excited about this, Michael.
Oh, I'm so glad. That makes me very happy. Well, speaking about excitement, it is time to introduce the awards program. Thank you so much, everyone, for all of your participation, all of your effort. And this, again, is just tokens of our gratitude that we just want to give to you. And it's really important to write down this start date. It's going to be June 22nd, in which the program will kick off. But if you already are taking notes and have been so committed and dedicated, we will recognize that and you'll be eligible for the cool awards. Okay, so there's going to be certificates dedicated to data collectors, and we're going to have 3 categories. The first category is the bronze category, in which it encompasses data collected from a 4-week period from June 22nd. The second category is the silver category, which encompasses a 6-week period of data collection. And finally, the gold standard, the gold category, which encompasses an 8-week period. And with this standard, you'll be able to be eligible for the grand prizes.
I can't believe the work you've put into this, and I can't thank you enough, Michael. This is going to be fun.
Oh, again, this is such a unique and awesome project. You can't get this anywhere else, and so I really wanted to make it memorable and just to show everyone that we care about your citizen science,
Yeah.
And
Good.
you should be awarded for that. Okay, so to participate, the structure, here it is. It's very simple. Boom, boom, boom. It's just 3 steps, I promise. So step 1 is to fill out the beginning/middle of the season survey. And this survey is not out yet, but it will live on the website. And I may show you after, but we're also going to have another update and awards program reminder on June 25th. And that's just going to be 3 days after the start of this program. And we'll show you where this survey is. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to watch nests and submit observations with the forms. So the forms, they live on the website, and it's the Awesome Osprey observation logs. It's that accordion style forms that you fill out when you're recording the fish. You need to fill those out, but be sure to include your user ID so that we can identify you and that we can keep track of your progress. And final step, step 3, is to fill out the end of the season survey, and that will also live on the website, also where the beginning and the middle of the season survey will be. And we'll show you where that is. And that's it.
And let me just say something. Yeah, good.
Here we go.
You're answering me before I even said.
Oh, we kind of have this thing going on here.
That's great. Thank you, Michael.
That's why we're partners in this. Again, so I know some of you are thinking, why surveys? And some of you are thinking, why 2 surveys? So number 1, we care about you and we want to learn more about you, right? If we didn't care, we just, want you to just observe data and just log it. But then we're interested in knowing who you are, where you're from, what your experience level with Ospreys and Nest video cameras are. And we also want to know about, on the things that we can learn. And that's really important to us for guidance in improving things and making projects better. Suzanne, do you have any comments on that or any other input?
Yeah, I just think it's really important that we get direct feedback, because this is, Michael has worked really, really hard to put together a really robust program. But anything can be improved. And you never really know how things are going to play out until you get people actually engaged with it. So this is a way that Michael can get the kind of input from all of you to make our next year's project even better. And, Michael and I hope that this is something that we can continue into the future and just build on. So we have a really committed group of scientists who are helping learn about ospreys. So this is important, and we really appreciate your participation.
Absolutely. And just a little statement here, survey results will be summarized and no personal information will be presented. Okay, so the results will be posted on the website on the week of August 20th when we announce the winners.
And remember that Michael has an intention to publish the results, and part of those results will be the results of the survey, so he can tell other scientists what you all learned and how much you engaged and how it went for you, as well as for the data that was collected.
That has not been done before, so that's innovative research, and I'll definitely be presenting that at the Raptor Research Foundation when possible. But yes, a publication will be in the works as well.
Good.
Okay, so here are the grand prizes, and this is merchandise from a world-renowned photographer and public figure Mark Smith. If you're interested in learning about him and his work, I highly recommend that you Google him and also watch one of his YouTube videos. It's just mind-blowing at just the level of mastery of Mark Smith. And of course, his favorite bird is the osprey.
And won't you be interviewing him later, Michael?
Exactly. See, there you go. Here's your answer. Great timing, Suzanne. So yes, the live broadcast, we will have an interview with him on June 18th, which is a Thursday at 2:30 Mountain Daylight Time. Okay, so here's the other prizes. We had him last week. He gave his story about his book and Bell, Dr. Rob Beauregard, or Dr. B. And I have four of his books that I'll be giving away that are signed and autographed. So again, I'm really appreciative and very, very grateful for all of your hard work. And just to get you excited with some of the illustrations, here are a couple of them. And there you go. Susan just showed the book.
Well, it's a great book. You're only going to buy one book, and you know some of the scientific books are a little bit more detailed than a lot of people want. And even though this book was written with a child's audience in mind, it's just chock full of really fun and interesting information. Not as in depth as Alan Poole's book, but certainly gives you just a wealth of information. I highly recommend it.
Absolutely, and turning page from page is just such a delight. You know, not just the illustrations, but you know the words and how the way he was able to craft the story and the characters all together. It's just a delight. It will make a great gift. Okay, so our grand prize. Drum roll, fanfare. You've seen this already in the newsletter, but I've commissioned an artist in Illinois who is a fantastic photographer and artist, and her name is Z Lascon, and I commissioned her to make this 10 digital art piece. So this is the grand prize award for you, for our data observers, our data collectors. So again, just a way to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because this is a really important project. We want to represent you, we want to represent Ospreys, and just do a good job.
This is a one-of-a-kind piece of art made specifically for Michael's project. That's just tremendous. What a gift, Michael. What a beautiful.
Oh, I'm happy to give this, and you know, many more years to come.
Yeah. Well, I think that when the time comes, we should get the award winners on a Zoom with us. We'll have to figure out how to do that. I know that James is listening, and I'm sure he's thinking, oh no, here she goes again. But I think it would be really, really fun to get one of our observers on to tell us personally what they experienced, if they're willing to do that.
Oh, that's such a cool idea. I would really appreciate that. You know, and people would see each other. You know, that would be great. Yeah,
let's try that.
Yeah, let's definitely try that, James.
Get on it, James.
Yeah. He doesn't have a say right now, Suzanne. We can tell him to do anything right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all for my presentation. So we are open to any comments or questions if any of you have any.
People are saying how beautiful the artwork is. They're just really impressed with the artwork. Gorgeous and beautiful. And one woman says, my granddaughter would love to read the book. She's interested in the book. And indeed, this is a great book to share with the child. Just a great book. Yeah. Get your granddaughter engaged. Get her on the website, and you can work with her together.
Yes, exactly. And watch the little babies. You know, there's gonna be an explosion soon. You know, it's gonna be really fun and funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love the energy and the spirit that the artist has captured through this. It's just magnificent.
All right. Well, I don't see any other questions. I got one person typing right now, so let's just see if they have a question. But this was really a terrific update, Michael. I really appreciate all that you are putting into this. And I know that you're spending a lot of time making sure that all of the data is verified. And, you know, this is going to really help us going forward, because if we get to the point where we can completely rely on our citizen scientists, this means that we can do even more, because we have all of these eyes, and they know what they're doing, and they're really participating fully. So it frees you up to do other parts. So it's just very exciting.
Very, very exciting. It's been such a pleasure to have you today, Suzanne. Thank you so much for being here and sharing all of your information and your energy with us. And yes, it's very true. You know, this is just a basis of the study, and eventually it'll just evolve. We just have to establish the foundation, the groundwork, and the scientific community, they're going to have to listen to us. So let's make that happen.
Okay. Well, there's a question here. I have a question that came to mind yesterday when I saw Harriet, not for the first time, step off the eggs and bow her head. What does that mean? Is she listening to them? How good does an osprey hear?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
Very good question.
Are we, something happened to the computer? Is everything okay? I think so. Okay. So yeah, they are listening. They have good hearing. You know, not as good as their sight. And they have absolutely no taste. So that's why they can eat fish guts. But they are tuning in, they are listening, and sometimes they're just cleaning around the nest and making the nest cup more solid. Yeah.
Sorry, all right.
Suzanne, do you know anything about that?
I don't. No, I don't. Yeah, there are all kinds of good questions, and there's no end to what we can learn from these web cameras. And I think at some point it would be really interesting to focus specifically on behavior, because I think you know, the web cameras allow you to see things that you cannot see with field glasses and just watching from afar.
You just opened up a whole new dimension and universe, because that's that's new.
Yeah.
Again, future project.
Yep. So stick with us for years, you guys. We're into this.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Michael, as ever, for a wonderful presentation and for all you're doing for this project. And you're going to be moving now to Los Angeles between now and the fall, when we'll be at William and Mary. But you'll still be on every day and helping us, guide us along. And
absolutely.
Yeah, this has been terrific.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Thank you so much for, Days at Dunrovin. Thank you for creating this amazing online community.
Well, this is really going to be fun. Yeah, this is great. So thank you all of you, for participating, and get involved in the awards program and keep track of those nests and those chicks. We've got, 21 more eggs yet to hatch.
Oh my God.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
You're going to be busy. Again, cuteness overload. Just soak it up.
That's great. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
We'll say goodbye with that. And thank you, James, for making this possible.
Thank you, James. We have a list for you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.